Okay, now in this little explanation part, what I'm going to do is go through every part of that solo blues and explain to you how to play each section. So we'll slow it down and repeat it over a little bit, one bit at a time. Most of the sections I'm going to look at are 2 bars long, and generally we're going to look at left hand first, like your fretting hand, and then if there's something that needs addressing, then we'll look at the right hand, but sometimes there won't be. So I hope that's cool with you. Okay, off we go, let's check out the intro. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to look at the intro here, the first 2 bars. So we're going to start with our 3rd finger on the 3rd string at the 4th fret, little finger down on the 4th fret of the thinnest string. We're going to play the 3rd string first, then the thinnest string, and then back to the 3rd string. Again, that's the first 3 notes. Then we'd move it down 1, so we get the 3rd fret, 3rd fret again, 2nd fret, then 1st finger goes down 1st fret, 3rd string, and you do a little strum with your pick down there to get all 3 of those strings. To that section again. Followed by open A string, that's this string, the A string, the 5th string, then 1st finger, 1st fret, going to a B7 chord. So B7 chord here is 1st finger, 1st fret, 4th string, 2nd finger goes down in the 2nd fret, 5th string, 3rd finger down in the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and little finger down on the thinnest string, and that's just one strum on that B7 chord. So the intro again. And one more time, nice and slow. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the second 2 bars, which is from the E7, where you see the big thick line, the thin line, and the 2 little dots. That's a repeat sign where we're going to come back to it later. So we're going to start there with that E7, followed by the bar that says A7. So it starts off as a really basic, straightforward 12-bar blues rhythm guitar pattern, chunka blues if you've done my beginner's course. So we'd have here these 2 notes, the open E string, then the note with the 1st finger. We'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, of course, just plucking those 2 strings, each to the thickest 2 strings. Then it moves over to A, for the first 6 notes of what would be a regular 12-bar blues again. 1 and 2 and 3 and, then we've got here now 2nd finger down on the 3rd fret of the thickest string, followed by the 1st finger down on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then the first 2 notes of the next bar, of bar 5, which is on the next line on the sheet music, is just plucking the open E string and that note there with our 1st finger. So those first 2 bars are here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, over to A. Time from the E7, 2 and 3 and 4, over to A, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Okay, now we're into the next section, which is bars 5 and 6, which is the first 2 bars of the 2nd line. We started off with the little E chord. That was how we ended the last segment. So now we're going to start, that's on beat 1, that little chord. Now we're going to start by having a look at our little lead line here, which starts with an open B string, 2nd string, 3rd finger down, 3rd fret, open top E string, 3rd fret, open, 3rd fret, 2nd string, open, now we're using 2nd finger because it's 2nd fret, 3rd string, open, but when we finish, 1st finger is going to sneak in there and play that last note. So we have this, 1, 2, triplet, 3, triplet, 4, triplet, 1. And again here, 1, triplet, 2, triplet, 3, triplet, 1. And now we've got here, that 1 sits down like that and it stays there. We've got the 3rd and 4th fingers coming over to use those 2 notes on the 3rd fret, just the same as we did in that little intro part. So on the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and little finger on the 3rd fret of the thinnest string. So, and we hold those, and we hit those last 2 notes. So those first 2 bars of the 2nd line are this. Now when you're playing these 2 notes here, you're going to strum right across, and the idea here is just to leave your 3rd finger laying down a little bit so it mutes up that middle string, that B string. So you can strum and you don't hear that middle note, it's just muted. Okay. The next 2 bars here, where it says A7, it's the second 2 bars of the 2nd line. We start with 1 whole bar of chunka chunka in A. Pretty straightforward. And then we have the same part of the lead riff as we just had before. But we don't put that last note down that we had with the 1st finger. So from the A7 bar we have this. And now we're on to bar 9, which is the 3rd line. We have start off with a little rock and roll pattern. Here we've got this, the same as the variation. Bar 9 with the variation. Then we've got a little riff here, all played with our 1st finger. And then we go to B7. Straight into A. A chord, just using a 1st finger bar, and now we run down the blues scale. That again. 3 0 3 0 3 2 0 2 0. Then we finish that with a little E chord. Then we have the rundown now, which is the little ending, kind of turnaround lick. 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 2nd string, followed by the open, then the 2nd finger, 3rd finger. I just said 3rd finger, I meant 1st finger. Hopefully you saw that. Then plucking those 2 open strings. Then just like the beginning. Okay, so that was the 1st time bar, that little ending there. Now then you would start again at the beginning up to the E7 where the repeat is, play all of the way through the same piece, but when you come to the end, instead of playing that 1st time, you would play the 2nd time bar, which is this. So open, 2nd finger, covers the B string and the G string, then the B string and an E string again with nothing left, and you've got your last chord, which is an E7 chord. Looks like a regular E with little finger plugged down there, and that's your last chord. Now you want to check out the slow-mo versions coming up in the next lesson.